From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive. I'm Peter Rowan.
And I'm Adriana Costa. Today is March 31st, 2026, a date that marks the moment a temporary structure became the permanent face of a nation.
We're talking about the Eiffel Tower, Adriana. Now, long before it was the most visited paid monument in the world, it was actually the subject of some pretty intense controversy.
Exactly. On this day, in 1889, Gustave Eiffel stood at the very top to dedicate the structure. It was originally built for the Paris International Exposition, which was celebrating the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution.
The scale of it was just unprecedented for the 19th century. Out of over 100 designs submitted, the Centennial Committee chose Eiffel's plan for an open lattice wrought-iron tower. It reached almost 1,000 feet, making it the world's tallest man-made structure, until the Chrysler Building took the title in 1930.
And Peter, you mentioned that controversy. Many Parisians actually hated it at first. Critics called it a giant eyesore and even worried it was structurally unsound. Famous artists even signed petitions against it. They just couldn't imagine this dark metallic skeleton in the heart of their city.
But Eiffel was an absolute master of metal. He had already designed the internal framework for the Statue of Liberty, after all. He managed to finish the tower under budget in just 2 years with remarkably few accidents. In fact, only one worker lost his life during the entire construction phase.
That's remarkable. On the day of the dedication, the elevators weren't even finished yet, so Gustave Eiffel and a few dignitaries had to climb the stairs to the very top just to raise the French tricolor flag.
It's incredible to think it was almost torn down. The original lease for the land was only for 20 years. What saved it was science. It became a valuable antenna for radio transmissions and later television, proving that functionality can preserve art.
From structural icons to foundational thinkers, we are also celebrating some incredible birthdays today. We should start with René Descartes, born back in 1596.
The father of modern philosophy. His statement, "I think, therefore I am," changed the way we approach the concept of existence. But Adriana, his impact on math was just as massive.
Yeah, he developed the Cartesian coordinate system, which basically founded analytical geometry. It bridged the gap between algebra and geometry, which is something every high school student still deals with today.
While Descartes was looking inward at the mind, our next birthday subject has spent decades looking at the health of our planet. Former Vice President Al Gore was born on this day in 1948.
Peter, he is such a central figure in modern American politics, not just for his time in the Clinton administration or that incredibly close 2000 election, but for his environmental advocacy.
That work earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007. He really shifted the global conversation on climate change, making it a primary focus of international policy.
And to round out our birthdays, we have the legendary Christopher Walken, born in 1943. He is truly one of a kind in the acting world.
He really is. From his Oscar-winning performance in The Deer Hunter to those unforgettable, often eccentric roles in Pulp Fiction or Catch Me If You Can, there is a specific rhythm to his delivery that people have been trying to imitate for years.
No way. It's that combination of intensity and quirkiness. He has been in over 100 films and still manages to surprise audiences every time he's on screen.
While Christopher Walken was establishing his career, the world was looking toward a very different frontier. Our fact of the day takes us back to the height of the space race.
Right. On March 31st, 1966, the Soviet Union launched Luna 10 from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. It would become the first spacecraft to ever enter orbit around the moon.
This was a major victory for the United States SR. Luna 10, or Lunic 10 as it was sometimes called, orbited the moon 460 times. It wasn't just a flyby, it was a sustained presence that gathered data on lunar magnetic fields and micrometeoroids.
And Peter, there's a fascinating cultural detail here. The spacecraft actually transmitted a synthesized version of the International back to the Soviet Communist Party Congress. It was the first time music was ever relayed from space.
The battery lasted until May of that year, but the precedent it set was lasting. It proved we could successfully place a satellite into a stable orbit around another celestial body, which changed everything for the missions that followed.
It's amazing how much ground we've covered today, from the Wrought-Iron of Paris to the orbit of the moon.
It shows that whether it's philosophy, policy, or engineering, March 31st is a day defined by those who dared to build something higher or think something deeper.
Thank you for joining us for this look at history. I'm Adriana Costa.
And I'm Peter Rowan. You can find more historical narratives at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.